Views expressed here are not supported by and do not reflect those of the Evening Rush Network. Viewers' discretion is advised.
What's going on? Hello, everybody. Hello, how are you doing? Today is an amazing day. I'm feeling great. Shout out to all the new viewers. I see y'all already in the check-in. You already know what it is, man. This is part two. Part two of with my bulletproof marriages. You already know we're gonna get in. We're gonna start everything. But first, I gotta say, first and foremost, I need y'all to like, subscribe, share. Make sure y'all do that. Also, I need y'all to call in. The number is 929-282-0266. Hit that Cash App up, $, the Evening Rush. I got to shout out iAccess Radio, WUPN 86.4 The Beat, S in South Carolina, Fleet DJs, and Bobby D Customs. Definitely want to shout all of them out. And first, I'm going to set it off. Our special announcement first, yo. Listen, this has been a long time. First and foremost, shout out to Rainbow. We sending prayers to her moms because, you know, she had to go through a minor surgery. Moms is good. Rainbow had to be with her. So, you know what I mean? I got TK in the building. So, we starting off with our special announcement. I'm going in. Today, I'm definitely going in. I got my bulletproof marriages in the building. I got TK in the building. We doing Love Hangover, the video premiering tonight. Let's start it off by the special announcement. I want to announce that TK is now an official member of the Evening Rush show. So she is now with me and Rainbow. It's Dawn, Rainbow, and TK. I love it. Yo, this is an amazing. That's been family from day one, so you already know what it is, man. TK, welcome home. In my words of saying, welcome home. Welcome back. Let them know how you feel.
I'm good. I have no complaints. You know, as I've said on prior episodes, I get bullied to come on the show anyway and filled in, and then he bullies his way onto my podcast. So it was just everything aligned. So I'm here.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's time. I felt it was time. Rainbow felt it was time. We had a nice, beautiful discussion about it. And, you know, once I got the green light from her, I was all good. We were all in. You know what I mean? You've been family with us. I could call you from anywhere. I need you to fill in, help me. And you just shoot in. So, yo, definitely, I appreciate it. So now you home. You can change that background, you know, get you a nice yellow one like that. You know, I love that. You already know. I'm going to pick on you already.
When you get my stuff,
I got you.
Okay. All right.
I got you.
We're going to time it today.
Everything is on the way. You already know.
Because you know you be a little slow. You get on when you nap and stuff like that. So
yeah. Oh yeah. You know how it goes, man. I'm an old man. I get tired.
You older, so, not old.
We getting straight into business. No, I'm old. Yeah, I'm old. Once you have like as many kids as I have, you become old. I'm just old.
That's true. You do have a lot of children.
I gotta take naps. I gotta have my daily nap. You know, I found it was crazy that me and my mom decided to go take a nap at the same time. And she's 85, so it was like, okay, mom, you ready? All right, we're going to nap. You know, so I knew I'm old then. I was like, Mom, you good? I'm going to take my nap, baby. Me too. Let's go, Mom. So, you know, we good. So
That's hilarious.
Wow.
let's get into business. We got my bulletproof marriages in here. If y'all missed the
Yeah.
last show that they were on, we had an amazing conversation.
Yes, we did.
We talked about the rules of a relationship, and I pretty we all came to agreement that there's really no rules. It's just a foundation.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, that's what we all came to agreement. Because I
That's
was
right.
lit off the evening rush lemonade.
No, you're right. You're so right.
So
It is. And it's mainly
so you know,
boundaries. It's
yeah,
more like boundaries instead of just,
and we all just said that there was boundaries in a relationship.
yeah, there's a lot of boundaries in relationships. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm not big on
And y'all
rules.
came up with some great ones.
Thank you. We appreciate it. It took us 19,
I think that's more of
19 years. I'm just saying we don't practice for a very long time. Long time. 19 years. Been doing this since we were kids. All right, children. We were children having children, realizing that we were not ready for all that entails when it comes to marriage. Okay, so we had to go through and figure it out and then come up with the recipe, and then now we've led into success. It's not that we don't have days, that we still have moments, as we try to tell people all the time. Yes, we are happy. Yes, we are blessed, we're grateful, we're at peace. We don't have the same situations that we had before, right? But we still have challenges. We are still evolving. And when you're evolving, there's more challenges that come with that, and life and kids and work and people and social media, So it's a lot. But when we decided to really kind of break the cycles in what we saw, and break the cycles of what we were taught, then it really did help us create our own foundation. It helped us say, you know what, this is something new for us, and this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to teach our children. And if we can help others learn how to flow through life together, this union we call marriage, this thing we call relationships, then it should be successful. Because that's the whole point of getting together and being one, is to have a loving, passionate, successful union. That's it.
Definitely.
So
That sounds beautiful. I ain't gonna hold you.
I don't know
All
about
right.
that. It's not
So
beautiful, but
no, it does sound beautiful. Me and you, all three of us had four of us, excuse me, had our conversation earlier, how our
yeah,
relationships work, and it's different. Everybody has beautiful days. We all have bad days. Mines are interesting. I call my days interesting. You know, depending on how we wake up in the morning. So it's an interesting day. But the
yeah.
one thing about it, I say, no matter what, we stay strong. We do what we gotta do. We take care of the family,
Mhm.
and we make it happen. Um, Today we're gonna spicing it up a little. We're gonna spice it up just a little bit. Matter of fact, I want to wait a little bit longer. A little bit longer. PK,
Okay.
how is your relationship going? I get a face.
Woo. It's interesting. More interesting than it should be, but it's
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
And your relationship, how long have you been in? And well,
Uh 14 months.
I think she's freezing. Okay, 14 months.
Okay.
All right.
All right. That's
Yeah,
it's still
Okay.
new.
it's still new.
It's still new. It's
Yeah.
still new. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
still
yeah.
new.
And
Yeah.
what's interesting about it, like, is it interesting, like, because you're still learning each other and there's a lot of hiccups and red flags? Or is it interesting because, you guys just love each other, and then all of a sudden you guys have like a really bad moment, that just kind of blows up? Like, what's interesting?
Um, it's a lot of hiccups. It's a
Okay.
lot of hiccups. I think it's more of a person that has had a lot of bad relationships
Mm-hmm.
And they still have the trauma of the bad relationships. So they're set and used to things going a certain way and operating in a certain way. And then when they get somebody that's not what they're used to, more of simplicity, they're still in the mindset of those complex relationships and want to operate in that way. So there's some toxicity there.
Mm-hmm.
And that person don't know how to come out of that and let somebody love them and accept that this is something new and it's not the same as what they dealt with before. So that's who we are. And somebody just really still set in a ways that they're going to operate the way that they operated before it even though it works. So when we have the conversations, they don't want to change or adjust or bend. They're just stuck in, this is me. Well, I'm not going to do this because when in my other relationship, it came out this way, this way, this way. So I'm just going to stay here operating this way.
Got it. Are you married or is it just a relationship?
It's just a relationship.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you man, you going through the same thing that a lot of people going through, and whoever your partner is, we just actually did a podcast on dating and red flags, right? And man, like it's deep because like what you just said, you kind of hit the nail on the head. We're bringing past situations into the present. Matter of fact, before we went live, we talked about that a little bit in a different way, but it's the same principle, right? You're bringing whatever happened yesterday, a year ago, 5 years ago, and you're making it relevant right now. You can never have anything better unless you're willing to let that go and let this be what it is, whatever that is, and make those adjustments and those changes. Treating this person right, fresh and new, treating this fresh and new. And you can do it on a daily basis if you're married, and you do it like in a relationship when you're just now getting together, like TK, right? Like you want that fresh perspective instead of bringing that old in. But it's hard for people. We get stuck in our ways, we get stuck in habits, and it's easier said than done just to break them, and that's one of the things that we try to tell people that are dating is that if you think that this person is going to change just because you love them, if you think that they're going to change just what I don't know for whatever reason, I wouldn't. It's not that they can't change. You just have to understand that if you go down that road, they're not going to change until they're ready, and that's a hard pill to swallow for some, right? But that's just the cost, right? And it's at every level. Okay, I mean, we deal with people that are married that ignored all the red flags, and now the red flags are like monumental issues in their marriage, and they're like, now what do? I'm married, right? Well, these are things you should have addressed, and now we got to address them. But so I hope that you said you were having those conversations. So I hope that over time with those conversations, you kind of break down that wall and your partner kind of walks into the potential of this relationship.
So let me ask a question. When you do come into relationships with old baggage, as I call it, is there ways that you can try to exercise or make it so that you can as because you still an individual. There are ways that the individual part of you can realize, well, listen, she explained to me or he explained to me, he sees these flags and this toxic ways and they want me to change it. There are ways that you as a person or individual can start to make changes within yourself.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's where everything has to start within yourself. I mean, that's what we preach. We preach changing you first. The relationship is a byproduct of whatever's going on within you in the first place. So if you are dealing with trauma, if you are, toxic within yourself, right? And that also probably means that you have daily habits, even without the relationship, that don't benefit you in the long run, right? You do things that don't help you get to the goals and be the person that you want to be at the end of the day. You might have goals, you might have dreams, but your habits don't prove that, right? And so that's just an internal thing. And then we see that play out in relationships. And so, yeah, the change has to happen within yourself first. I mean, that's like we talked about the first time that we were on the show. That's what changed our relationship. We had 10 years of just, I mean,
toxic.
God
It was
bless,
toxic.
man. It was hard.
Both of us, because we both came in with a lot of toxic habits and cycles, and we didn't have good relationships that we saw unfold in front of us, and we didn't have people around us that could guide us in the way that we needed to help us.
Well,
and so,
well, even beyond that though, like our personal life
right,
was janked, right? Like you got to think, like I grew up, my mom was a drug addict, she overdosed. I ended up getting abused for about 14 months of my life. I ended up going to jail and doing all these things and joining the military. Lanell had to grow up, and her father was an alcoholic, and she had a lot of issues with that. So there's this hurt, right? And all of this mess that happens before you ever meet anybody. Okay. And the problem is that none of that gets dealt with, and we just bring it into whatever this situation is. Yeah, you can get in this situation, but the first step, honestly, is to look within yourself and you change. Because I can't make her change. She can't make me change. We tried that for years too, right?
Yeah.
No, you got to be like this, and you got this, and you got to do this, and then next thing you know, it's World War III in our kitchen. Okay, no one can make me do something I don't want to do. So if I don't realize it first, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen.
Yep, he's right.
At least not permanently.
Definitely got to be a lot of communication in these situations. Yeah.
Yeah, and you got to start. The hard part is
it definitely got to be a lot of communication. It got to be a lot of.
Yeah, and then you got to be like self-aware of yourself. Like you got to start tapping in of like, okay, I have to be more self-aware of what my partner's saying. I have to be self-aware of what I am doing. Self-aware of like what's actually happening, and then how if you truly want to change those things, then what is the first step for me to start working on changing those things that I really need to fix? So I would say like TK, like your partner, you keep communicating, you keep having these conversations. Because you're not married, the blessed part is you have the ability to walk away because you're not married. You're not in, you can say to yourself, this is not serving me any longer, and you can say, I have put in work. I have put in 14 months. I have put in, I put in, however long it is, 3 years. Right. But I would tell you that why would you want to hold on, right, if you don't see any change with somebody that you are not married to? I would only ask somebody to stay in a relationship if you're married and really work through it because you have made that commitment. But when you're just dating, you're still and this is only my opinion, you're just still single. You're still single because you're still figuring out yourself, and you're still figuring out this person, and you're still figuring out, should we even go ahead and become one? So you have the opportunity to work on you. And your partner has the opportunity to work on him, and then you guys can go from there. But you definitely have to have, open communication. He has to start diving in within himself to figure out whether or not.
When you gotta love each other through it, right? Regardless of whatever road you take, whether it's okay, I'm gonna stick it out with this person. I believe him. I see the potential in this person, and you're communicating, hey, this is what I don't like. Because here's the biggest problem. Don't ignore. We're scared of confrontation. If you do not confront your partner, they think it's okay. They don't see what you see. We always assume that they see what we see, but they don't. Okay. So you have to communicate that, as hard as that is. That's number one. 2, you have to come up with a game plan together that vibes with both people. And then once you make and this is probably the most important step, you can't continue to throw in their face what they're working on. You have to allow them to get through it. You have to allow, and that's going to take time. Not again, we're talking about trauma. We're talking about, childhood issues, it's not going away in a day. It's not going away in 6 months. Sometimes it might take 8 months, a year of hard work for them to truly turn the corner and be a new person, And so if you choose to go down that road, you got to remember, I got to love them through this. And you got to celebrate their wins, no matter how small they are.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you did this. And, we, like on our podcast, we talk about somebody that buys Nikes, even though they know they got to pay the bills, right? So if they, if you address that, right, and they're like, all right, I'm not buying Jordans this time, I'm gonna buy Jordans next time. You celebrate the fact that you were able to take that money and pay for baby food, right, or whatever you got to do, and you celebrate the fact that they made that hard decision for themselves and they put the money where it's supposed to go, right? Instead of being like, well, see, you should have been doing that in the first place. See, we could have had money if you had done that. You don't want to do all that, right? You want to celebrate what's hard for them. So.
Well, technically that depends, because if they the 13s and they just came out, they gotta stay fresh. I gotta have them.
Hey, they eat food too, man. I'm just saying.
I'm saying, come on, bro. No, you can't eat those shoes.
I'll definitely do some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for lunch, so I can have my 13s, man. So I can't say that. But something you touched on, and I definitely agree, and that is when it is time to communicate, to step in front of it.
Yeah.
So some people, that's actually hard. I want to say that. Say it's an issue with it, and you feel, oh, I need to address it. But you wake up in the morning, the timing ain't right to address it. How do you deal with that?
Set a time.
I'm about to say set a time and a date.
In y'all opinion.
Set a time. If you have to, you could always, if you can't talk through it, like we were talking about earlier, text. Like, hey, babe, you know what? Could we meet on after dinner? At 8 o'clock once the kids is down, and can we discuss this?
And one of the things that we also say is like set a time, but also set a time where both of you are going to be 100% or at least close to 100% to give all that you are to that conversation. So my wife was like, yeah, the kids, put them down to bed, right? Turn off your phones, turn the TV off, like really like have a for real conversation with each other, not distracted with 1,000 other things. So when you pick a time that you can do that, so that way you can really give your full attention to that conversation. Otherwise, you're always going to have issues. You just,
and you always make excuses or why, I didn't hear this or I didn't hear that. And you don't want that. So you want to be able to give your full attention to your partner who you're speaking to, so that they can understand. Like I said, just kind of understand where you're coming from. They may not always agree with you, but they should be able to kind of hear you. It's really about just listening to you and saying, okay, you know what, I hear what you're saying. I don't agree with it, but I do hear what you're saying. And that's the most important part when you both walk away, is that you're like, I don't agree, but I do hear you. Because eventually with time, what's going to happen is something will kick in, right? Once you guys both start growing, once you both start evolving, you'd be like, yo, you know what? That made a lot of sense what they said. Like, okay, cool. Like, and I think that's a lot of times for us, that's how it worked out for us. It was like we started really trying to listen to each other, and we started really listening to each other. I'd be like, I'm not agreeing with you. I'm not agreeing with you right now, but you know what? I do hear what you're saying. So I'm gonna ponder on that. And I just take time. And sometimes it would take weeks, it would take months, but then come back and be like, you know what? That conversation we had about this, you know what? You was right.
Like we talk about communication is so hard, right? So like one of the things that we just talked about was, setting that time and the right environment, right? Because if the environment's not right, man, a lot of reasons will be why I can't communicate or I can't stay in this. So those two things, you check those off. But when you're talking, Lanell, is something that is really important. And that's just listening. A lot of times when our partner's talking, we're thinking about what we're going to say next, our response, our defense, right? Our point. Man, you all kinds of wrong right now, right? Because you cannot tell me
because you know you gotta cut them off.
No,
you try to
see,
no.
they made
you
a
ain't
point.
hearing what they got to say.
You're not listening.
Hold
Nope.
on, I need to cut you off to address that point because people tend to like drag it, like they go into one thing and another thing, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm gonna forget.
But you know, no, you're right. I want to say, nope, you're right, because that is something that one of the partners end up, and now you know what, you're right. One of the partners in the relationship end up doing that. You're right. It's like we drag it out and we talk about some other things. So that's another thing we do talk about. You have to be able to stick with the topic. Like you can't bring up something that happened in another fight. Like, no. We discussing this topic right now. And that's it. I'm not gonna talk about what you upset about that you didn't bring up then. You should have brought that up then. We talking about right now. Be specific about what you got to say, that's it.
If it arises after this situation is dealt with, then and if we're both got the energy for it, then we can explore that. Right. Otherwise, get on my calendar, right? Because otherwise, we this is what we're talking about right now, and so we had to do that.
I know my wife is good for that.
Yeah, we did the same thing to each other. And a lot of times when you feel in a certain kind of way, that's what you do, right? You just get on your soapbox and you just and you don't give the other person a chance. A conversation is two people talking, right? So yeah, stay on topic.
I had to learn that. I really did. That took me years to learn. I really
thought be like, excuse me, I'm not finished. Let me finish. And excuse me, let me finish, and then you can talk. And I'm like, but I'm trying to address what you just said, because if I don't, I might forget what I'm gonna say. And I think to me that's a form of manipulation, because then you ain't let me finish what I was saying, and I had a good whole for that situation. So then I get to the point where I'm just like, you know what? Just forget the whole conversation. I don't even talk no more. So I think that's a form of manipulation that women do to us men. That's just my opinion.
Okay, well, you don't just throw like the gender out there, you know what I'm saying? Because I bet you there's some men that do the same thing. Yeah. All right, but but I will say that yes, I'll own it and say I was definitely like that for sure. And he had to call me out on it, and I had to kind of, like I said, take time to just be like, man, and then I had to own it. And I was like, God, I hate owning it. I hate saying that he's right. I was like, but he is so right. Like, he would end up, I realized that he would just tap out. He really would. He would just tap out. So he would just be like, what are we talking about now? Like, why you bring that up? I can't even go back to the first conversation we was having. So forget it. And I'm like, no, we need to talk about this. And then here we are in the same cycle, in the same spiral. And that wasn't getting us anywhere. And to be honest with you, I was getting tired. He was getting tired. And it was like, okay, we need a solution. Got to come up with a solution. How we going to work this out? And that's when he was explaining, like, we got to stick with the topic. Like, whatever we mad about, let's just talk about that. And if you want to talk about something else, okay, so tomorrow,
table it.
Let's bring that up tomorrow. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's bring it up. As long as we talking about it, that helps me. So yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, because I like I said, I felt weird. Like I'm trying to explain something, then it felt to me like I'm being confrontational. And I don't like confrontation. So it's like, that's why I'll be like, yo, you know what? Just forget it. I'll be like, yo, just forget it. I don't even want to talk about it no more. You win. And walk away. Because it's like, I feel like it's confrontational. Like, I'm trying to express the thought while I have it in my head.
Sometimes you got to have a little confrontation, though. And you know, it's not fun. I'm not going to say it's fun. And I'm not saying you should make it a habit. But if you don't stand your ground, the change doesn't happen either, right? So there's got to be that balance where you're willing to say, no. You want to have a conversation with me? This is what we're talking about, right? We talked about this. We set a time. We said this is what we're talking about. You got to let me finish, or you got to let me have a voice in this. Otherwise, we're not talking. And if that can't happen, we recommend people going and get a third party.
Yes,
not your cousin, not your mom, right? Somebody that doesn't have any kind of interest, right? And preferably somebody who has been through similar stuff, so they can kind of guide you how your way through that, right? But a lot of times that person that won't let the other one talk, that doesn't happen when there's another person present. All of a sudden they're sweet and they're kind and they'll let the other, right? They all of a sudden they're on their best damn behavior, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times that's all it takes is that third party, and then all of a sudden you can get that conversation.
That's because they don't want to look like the manipulator. But we gotta take a quick break. But it's already getting heated, and I love it. Just in case y'all just tuning in, I want to once again welcome TK to the Evening Rush family. She is now officially a part of the Evening Rush show. So I definitely want to shout her out and tell her I appreciate her. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to our next guest coming up next week, City Block. He got a solo gallery showcase coming up December 8th. He will be in the building next week, so we definitely going to chop it up and talk more about it. And also, I want to shout out to my boys over at Costco. One of my boys, he's doing a big drive, Ruben. It's called Number for the Win, first annual toy drive going down December 14th, 4 to 7. The Swedish Football Club, 725 65th Street. If y'all already know, that's in Brooklyn, New York. So, on that note, we're going to go take a quick break. You already know what it is. It's the Evening Rush, man. Tap in.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Chrissy, here to let you know that the Evening Rush Network now has an app. Yes, an app, you guys. So you can stay connected on the go and watch all your favorite podcast shows. You can download the app at Google Play Store or Apple iTunes. So spread the word. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Also, if you're looking to start a podcast and really don't know how, well, hit us up at the Evening Rush Network at gmail.com and inquire about time slots, pricings, and everything you may need to get started. We got you. Join the winning team, the Evening Rush Network. And also, download that app. What are you waiting for? Get to it.
Yes. We are back. You already know what it is. It's the Evening Rush. We got My Bulletproof Marriages is in the building. We got TK in the building, one of the newest members of the Evening Rush show family. I'm so happy for that. I just love hearing myself say it. Shout out to Rainbow. You already know what it is. She ain't going nowhere. She's still with us. She had to just take the day off. But I just definitely got to shout out our sponsors. Shout out to Industry 21 Magazine. Dame, I saw you out and about with Little Weezy and I'm in a strip club, yo. You looking good out there in the street, bro. Definitely want to shout out Industry 21 Magazine. Shout out to Chef Beauty. If y'all need some amazing food done, catering-wise, hit her up. Definitely, you hit that IG up and you'll definitely know where to go. Shout out to Envious Creations. If y'all need drip, which is clothing, of course, and you want to look like the Evening Rush, we got all our drip from Envious Creations. So make sure you holler at her. If you need a great book, you need a tarot card reading or an intuitive, some artwork, holler at Martine Felton at martinefelton.com. Happy birthday, Martine. I saw you, sis. Very, very hope you had an amazing birthday. Shout out to Rainbow and her Rainbow Refreshers, the Evening Rush Lemonade, which I'm drinking every day. And I thank you for it because it's all gluten-free. So it's definitely safe for us gluten people. So make sure you get some of that. And definitely shout it out to Painted Drip by the Joker. That's my boy. You can catch him tomorrow on the Morning Show podcast each and every Monday through Friday. He's up there doing his thing, giving great advice on marketing. So if you need to market your shows or anything you do, market artist-wise, management, Joker is the man to see. And yes, we are just retiring the Quasar's Love With You video. That is getting retired today because we got the new joint coming on later tonight. Love Hangover, the Quasar, our artists on Evening Rush Entertainment. So I know y'all can't wait. It's coming though. It's coming. We got some stuff to talk about tonight. So we about to turn it up. I got Chad and Lanell in the building. And my bulletproof marriages, listen, off the rip, y'all are one of the best 2 counseling couples I've seen in a long time. I definitely want to tell y'all that off the rip. Y'all are the family here.
Appreciate it.
I know y'all more than welcome to pull up anytime y'all want. So,
what happens? Oh,
we're going to talk about tonight. Here we go. What happens when sex is out the
oh God.
This goes for after that 7-year stretch, if you ask me. Things change after the 7 years, man. You know, I think it changed a little sooner for certain people.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, you know, I know I was watching a TikTok video earlier where he said the first year of him and his wife together, they were like rabid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The next year, it slowed up to the point he was like, it was once every blue moon. And then that 5th year, he was like tapping her on the shoulder. Hey, can I, please, can I? So I want to know what happens when sex is out the picture in a relationship and you now gotta, you know, sit there and try to figure out, how do I keep this relationship going when there's no longer any sex in the picture?
We did it.
So
man.
my bulletproof marriages, Chad, Lanell, I came to y'all. Talk to me.
Yeah. All right. So you remember I talked last time we were on, I talked about getting in the motorcycle wreck. Well, I couldn't walk. I couldn't. Everything from my knee to my pelvis was fake. And to this day, so it's 3 years, almost 4 years now since the wreck. And I still, everything hurts in my body, right? And so sex is not, my whole hip pops, right? Like it is not fun, and it's not fun. I can only imagine what it sounds like on the other end, right? It's not like the most romantic situation, you know? And we went through a span where it affected, because up until this, sex had never really been a big issue for us. Right? Like we've heard other couples, like, you know, the 7-year itch and all of this different stuff. After a certain period of time, it fell off. We just always enjoyed that aspect of our relationship, right? And it never really, even when we were fighting, that was sometimes the way that it was like a peace offering, right? It was the way that we kind of mended that so we could talk about whatever was going on. So when all of this was happening with my own body, it threw us for a loop. We were like, oh man, you know, like I can't do what I normally was able to do, like at all, right? Like, and it's not just a year later, it's 2 years later, now it's 3 years later, and I'm still facing issues, and it's gotten a little bit better, but it's nothing like it used to be.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. You telling me, man. All right. But I'll tell you what, we you know what we realize is that sex, we put a lot of emphasis on it in our culture, right? From TV to movies to everything, sex. And I just told you I enjoy it, right? So it's not that I'm saying that it's not a good thing. But does it make a relationship? No. Okay. And we found that out firsthand. We had to improvise, and we actually had to just re-fall in love with our personalities, right? With the person I married. And I think a lot of times, one thing that we fail to do is just stay in love with each other, right? Because as you grow, we change. And a lot of times that change offends us, not impresses us, right? And I think that's the problem.
Definitely.
Whereas we just had to relearn each other and start falling in love with who we were and the people that we had become, and just find that as the spark that ignited the relationship and fueled the relationship. And, you know, when I had a strong day and I could put it in, then we got it in, right? But outside of that, it wasn't pressure to do something that was going to ultimately hurt me a lot, you know? And I think a byproduct was that we
disconnected.
Yeah,
even
we
deeper.
connected within, right? And that's what we try to preach to everybody is when you can connect at a deeper level with your spouse, not only will you face life and conquer everything, but you'll do it and really truly be in love with the person you're doing it with. Not saying that you don't have hard days, not saying that you don't get mad at each other and you don't get frustrated, but the bounce back is a lot quicker. A lot quicker. If it's always on sex, if everything hinges on sex, eventually
I know when we was I remember last time when we was talking and I asked you about the depression and being depressed, does that affect certain things in a relationship? Even though we brought it to a different situation, do you feel that played a part in the sexual relationship as well?
Yeah, yeah, because you got to think, all right, especially I'm talking to especially the men right now. As a man, right, that's one of the things that we're supposed to be able to do, right? That's one of the things that we kind of take pride in, okay? And as a young boy, you're taught that that's your job. That's the one thing. If you can't do nothing else right, you got to do that right. And you go from a place of doing it all the time, right, to you can't do anything and you feel like you're not pleasing your wife. You feel like you're not being able to satisfy her in those areas. And because of the way the culture is, you feel like if she's not happy there, she's gone. She's ghost, right? And now I'm going to be alone all because I couldn't get busy in the bedroom anymore because of a wreck or because of whatever your situation. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be like my situation, whatever the situation is, right? And it doesn't have to be like that. That's all I can say is yeah, but I did go through that and it did affect the overall. It is something I had to conquer and realize, but I think if you try to do it on your own, you're going to fail. But when you bring your partner in and they can validate you as a man, they can validate you and what you bring to the table outside of just that, right? Then it's a game changer, right? And then you can truly fall in love with each other for just who you guys are, not those other things.
I love it. I love it because that's the truth. I mean, for real.
I mean, to me,
hard.
like there's still got to be some type of even if we say sex is out, there still have to be some type of romance, some type of
for sure
that keeps the spark.
Yeah. He's still. I mean, it's not like he don't grab every day. Yeah. For sure. He still grabs me every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He still, I mean, I'd like to say he still shows me in any way he can. It just may not always be in the bedroom. It may not always be, with sex. And that's okay. It took me a while to understand that. Because like he said, that's the one thing we never had an issue in. I mean, when other people were talking about, his boys coming to him saying like, man, my wife ain't giving me none. You know what I'm saying? I got to beg for it. What's up? Wife. Yeah. Talk to my wife. I'm like, what am I talking to her about? Like, just say yes. Like I have always been a yes. Yes. Like it don't matter what time it is. Yes. It don't matter how sleepy I am. Yes. It doesn't matter that we just had a kid. Yes. Like for me, it's always been yes, because that's the one area
and I was just about to hit that right there on the nail.
Yeah, I think that it's very important. I don't understand why you would want to hold that away from your partner. Yeah. Like, why are you holding that? Especially when you was like a rabbit with him. Like, if you was giving it to him like nonstop at the beginning, and then all of a sudden you just stop. What do you think he's supposed to do? He's looking at you like you crazy. I know. I was looking at him like he was crazy, and I knew he was hurt. Okay, I'm like, hold on, wait, you walk in, you feel like you look like you a little bit better. Like that limp is not. Yeah, let the limp is not that bad, babe. We got this. Come on, let's work this out.
It's metal.
But we had
listen. Everything you say, I know. Listen, I know.
We had to.
Like, you just walked up the stairs with no problem. What's going on?
Come on, right? We went for this 3 mile walk.
I get it. No, I totally get it.
And that was another thing. I would ask him to go for walks with me, and he would walk me for 3 miles. And then that night, I'm like, so we good? And he like, Lanell, I just went for 3 mile walk with you. I'm really hurt. I'm like, I know you are, but you did so well. Just let me,
damn.
let me get this off real quick.
Bro.
But let me tell you, I had to.
I know the feeling.
So I get it, but I
know
do.
these
But
feelings.
this is another thing. I think that genders have to start understanding the body too. That's another thing. Like men do have to understand what the women body go through, and as you get older, things do change, right? Yeah. And so you have to take in consideration, like for a woman, it takes her 7 years to really get her mental and her emotional and her body back to where it was. I mean, I know that some people just bounce right back, and you're like, damn, she look good, she has a baby. I promise you, there is some internal things going on in there that is not back to where it was. And so with each child, it takes 7 years for it to come back. And you have to give her that opportunity.
Don't shake your head, TK. No.
But okay, with that,
time out. No, you said 7 years. Okay, time out.
But
hold on, wait a minute. No. No. You said 7 years. That's a long time to be waiting.
You hitting the reset button. So your 7 years keep starting over.
It do.
Yeah, listen.
And so then her emotional state is not there, right? And a lot of times as women, we are not, especially once we start having children, and if we're working outside of the home, okay, and then we're having to come back into home, and we got to cook, and we got to clean, and we got to take care of these kids, and we got to make sure that he's taken care of, and we got to take care of ourselves. We have all these things going on. I'm not thinking about sucking your dick at the end of the night. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not. What I'm worried about is making sure that I put these kids to bed. Okay. I'm making sure that all these other things is taken care of. Now, what I will say, okay, that if I give me some rest, if I can get into bed by like 10 o'clock, okay, and I give me a little rest, I might go on and roll over, hook you up, you know what I'm saying, about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, we could get it in. All right, now I need a little bit more rest because these kids are about to get up. I'm just saying, like, that's how we had to plan it. We had to plan it that way. And that's why we didn't have routines. We didn't have schedules. I didn't go like, okay, Tuesdays at 9 o'clock. That's a good time for me. Some people, they have that it works for them. If it works for you, keep doing it. But for us, it was like, yo, whenever we could get it in, let's try. And like I said, for me, I just really wasn't one to say no, because a lot of that was also taught to me. My father was very big before I got married, like, look here. Now, the one thing you ain't gonna do is give this to this man this whole time before you get married, okay? And then you marry him and you turn around and keep saying no. You're not about to do that. And I was like, oh, okay. He was like, I'm telling you. He's like, that's the one thing.
And
the one
that
thing
is my
show him respect, okay? And then you can give him some. Do those 2 things, and y'all gonna be good. And I was like, I hear you, but then he also needs to do his part. And what I mean in that, men need to come in. You got to be able to help her. If you're expecting your wife or your girlfriend to come in and do everything that she was doing outside the house, and then come in the house and do everything, and you sitting there and not doing your part, and then you expecting her to give you some at the end of the day, you're wrong. You were so wrong. That's the reason I always said yes to him. Because you know why? He always helped me.
No. Hold on. Hold up.
I said, no.
Flag. See, this is the part I was telling you. See how I say women, y'all won't let us get that little.
Okay.
I just want to. I need to defend myself somehow. Yeah. So
okay.
Now I just want to say, first of all, we had these kids together. That's fine. Mm-hmm. If I go to work just like you go to work, we're both tired. That's fine. That's understandable. These things happen. Tired. I still feel that both of us are supposed to muster up energy to satisfy each other. Because just like you made a rash decision. Listen, I'm the only person you're going to be with, and you're the only person I'm going to be with. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be no outside entities involved in our relationship. Mm-hmm. I think we're supposed to both muster up that energy to satisfy each other at some time. No matter what. Who's tired? Listen. It only take about an hour and a half, 45 minutes. That's it.
Okay, yeah, because I want you to tell me
that goal was, wasn't it 3 hours at one time, and you had to cut it down to like an hour and a half? Hello.
Okay, so I'm doing better. I've done better. I've gotten my 2-hour gap down to an hour and a half, hour 45. So you know, I mean, you know, there's still within that time range. You know, this is all I'm asking for. You know, I don't understand. You know,
there's balance. There's balance. Definitely. You gotta have balance, right? And that's one thing that we always, you know, advocate in a relationship, right? Like my wife said, you know, most people is one-sided, right? Mm-hmm. One person's doing it all, the other person's just expecting it all. And if that's that case, then you're wrong, right? And whoever's sitting in their drawers eating Cheetos is wrong, whether it's the female or the dude, right? I don't care, right? Because we've seen about both, right? And so, you know, whoever's not holding their weight, you're wrong. But yes, you got to make time for each other. Even hurt. Like she said, I would slap her. I would come up and kiss her neck. I would try and seduce her in the kitchen, right? Knowing it was gonna bring me a whole bunch of pain in the future, right? I didn't care, right? But that's the type of passion but that's also something like, and so this is kind of a deep thing too, because most people get married and they change. Everything changes. And it's a deep wired thing. It's because what they saw as a kid, they saw a man does this, a woman does this, they do this together, and this is what I'm supposed to do. Okay. Like when I grew up, I'm not going to call out any other man. I'm going to call out myself. I thought that a man was supposed to make money, get off work, and that's it. That's it. You go home, you go to work, you work hard. You don't make nobody else go to work. You put all the financial burden on you. That's what you do. But when you go home, nothing. You shouldn't have to do nothing. And I had to really analyze that, right? Because what I realized is that she got a tough job just with the kids, man. Like I stay home with them little dudes for like an hour and you're going crazy. Can you imagine doing that all day, every day? So she's tired too. And so I had to readjust what I was programmed.
I agree. I definitely agree.
You know, but that happens sexually too, because we're not seeing that part of our parents or whoever raising us relationship. We're not seeing that. And then we hear other relationships. Well, I don't get sex and I don't do that. Oh yeah, girl, you don't know. I hold out on him if he doesn't do this, that. And so you start allowing those thoughts and those programs become yours. And that's one thing that we always preach against. You got to create your program that works good for you and yours, right? And hold to it. It doesn't matter what somebody else does or doesn't do. What works for y'all, do it and do it with perfection. And don't be lazy on your end, whatever that is.
Have you had conversations about that?
Like I definitely agree with you when you say. No, I agree with him when he said, you know, you don't just come home and relax. I don't know what come home and relax is. I'll be honest. You know what I mean? I come home. I do need my 15 minutes of, you know, give me 15 minutes just for me real quick. And then I'll jump on the ball with whatever you need. I got that. But I need that 15 minutes from when I walk in the door. Right. You know, because she's home. She doesn't have to work. I'm holding it down. But you know, once again, like you said, you know, listen, it's a job when you have all these kids. You know, and these are toddlers. So they're on 30 all day long, nonstop, running as soon as they get in from school. So I get it that she needs a break. But my theory is you've been home all day. You know, so even though she go to school or, you know, she does what she does, you know, there should still be that time. If I got a little energy from being at work, dealing with the crazy people, remember, I don't get to take a nap. I'm at an 8-hour shift. There's no nap in there. You know, all I got, it was 15 minutes. I believe that there should be a way to work that out.
Picture.
Huh? Oh, you stupid.
This would
You gotta take a nap, man. You gotta take a nap. Definitely gotta take
So,
a nap. Because
okay,
if you
have you
don't
had a
take a nap, it's like, yo, your whole day is off.
have you had a conversation about how many times a week that you need it?
When we went to counseling, we had a conversation.
Okay.
Because I'm a little more extreme
Most men are.
than and we came up with a conclusion,
Okay.
of trying to work it in, but unfortunately, like you said, kids
Yep.
played a big part. Her getting sick played a big part. So
Yep.
things changed. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So when things
Right.
change, you got to adapt with
Yep.
that change.
Mhm.
And I understand these things.
Okay.
You gotta be understanding. You gotta be able to say, you know what? I gotta be the bigger person. But it does put a strain on a relationship
Mhm. Yes.
when
Mhm.
there's no
Yeah.
type of intimacy at all. As far as
Yeah, you do have to.
Yeah,
You
y'all
do
are
have to
two
have some
separate
form.
places.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, you do have to have it. I mean,
So
the
there has to be some type of balance.
yes, it for sure. That's the most important key. We had to learn it. And I mean, at different times in our marriage, 19 years. I mean, we were separated for 18 months of that. He was gone in Iraq. And so 18 months. What do I do? Right. And here he is. What does he do? He's of course not thinking about it because he's over there fighting war, right? But I'm definitely thinking
you
about
think
it.
about it even now.
I mean, I know. And then you
No,
you have
yeah, I was about to say that's like going to jail. You thinking about it? That's
it's
going to
still,
jail. Being screamed at and like I'm in jail, literally. Like, yo, I
I'm not
need some and I can't get none. I gotta look at Tom over here. Tom on my right with the big rifle. Nah, he went through. Nah, bro, I got you, bro.
no, but
He thought about it too. But go ahead.
oh, I'm not saying he didn't think about it, but I'm just saying that maybe not been the first thing on his mind, like most men, when you're sitting here, you're not at war and you're just like at work, like, okay, I'm 8 to 5, I get off. Like, when you're at war all day, and that's not the first thing I'm thinking you're thinking about. But what I am saying is that you just have to
I don't know.
have those
Me is a
conversations.
little different.
You have to have those conversations, and that's what those hard conversations that we tell people you have to have over and over and over again.
Yeah, can't just do
Okay.
Yeah.
And you get and you got to understand it's going to be a readjustment every single decade that you go through life together, right? Because I mean, I've said it before on a podcast or some reel or something we did. I was like, at 80 something, I don't know if I'm even going to think about sex. I know I'm gonna be with him. I just don't know if it's gonna be in the forefront of my mind. I don't know what's gonna happen when I'm 60 something. I don't know but I know I'm gonna be with him, And so I know I'm still going with this connection. I know I'm still gonna just want to be in his presence.
Mm-hmm.
To me, learning after these almost 4 years together, that just being next to him, being in his presence, to me, that's more intimate than anything he could give me sexually. Anything, because I'm just so connected to him emotionally and mentally and spiritually, and just what we have just reinforced with our relationship together is just way more, like I said, intimate for me than anything.
Yeah. But that's something
But
that a
how
lot
do
of
you
people,
get to that reinforcement?
man, it takes
I'm sorry. How do you get to that reinforcement?
it takes everything that we just said. It's all about diving within, right? That the first stop is within you, right? And that's what a lot of people fail to realize. If you're not happy
With
in
you,
yourself,
right?
all right. So let me just keep it 1,000. We rush to go get money, to work a job that doesn't even serve us in the long run. They don't care about our future. Okay. We will have people in our life that don't care about us. They're only using us. We go in debt for a car that won't be worth anything in 10 years. Okay. We do all of these things because we feel like we're going to find some type of fulfillment, some type of purpose, some type of acceptance and wholeness by having all of these external things, even a marriage, right? Like I was telling my kids this the other day. I got married thinking that this woman was going to make me whole. She can't make me whole. That car, that money, that job, that opportunity will not make you whole. All that's going to happen is it'll satisfy you for a little bit, and then another opportunity needs to fill that gap. Something else has to come in there, right? So all we're saying is you dive inside and you find out what's real within you, right? And that might look different for everybody. I'm not sitting here trying to be a preacher. I'm not a preacher. I don't go to church. That can look like whatever it looks like for you. But you got to keep it real with you and look within and find that thing that doesn't change. Find that real purpose within yourself. And then everything else becomes easier. Our vibe changed when we found who we were and we found peace within ourselves, not because of anything that she did or didn't do. Sex, no sex, doesn't matter, right? I got a lot of money. I don't have no money. I'm good. I am content. That if you can get there, everything else is straight. Everything, I swear. And what's crazy about it is you create this internal environment, right, of peace. And it translates to your physical environment. Things start changing in your life to line up with what's going on within you. I don't know if y'all know anybody that everything in their life is crazy, that there's always angry, like everything. That's just a reflection of what's going on the inside of them. Okay. And so all we try to do is preach that to couples, because if you can get that right, that relationship will fix itself. All those little quirks and all these little things that we make humongous issues, they just start aligning, right? You align with your partner, and then y'all create something that other people are like, oh my God, I wish I had that. But it starts right here. And that's 100.
That's what I'm talking about. I gotta drop a jump. Definitely gotta drop a bomb on that one. That is real.
I love the way
and Perry Charles said the same thing. Not a preacher, but delivering the word out here. So
amen. Like he do that in his house all day, every day. Okay, to us, and we appreciate it. At first, we were like, "Here we go again." He'd be like, "Come on, we gotta have a family." Here we go. We like, "Oh, here we go." What you about to? But then after a while, it's like, "Dang, he's so right." You know, like then you have time to yourself and you start to reflect. And we have a 22-year-old, an 18-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 12 and almost 12-year-old. And now they're like, "Yo," they're like, "He was so right." I'm like, "Yes, he is." I'm like, y'all see a big difference, especially our 22-year-old. He was raised with us. We feel like he's like our little brother. And he's like, Dad is so different. I'm like, he is completely different than where he was years ago, because he just really worked on healing himself from everything in the past, really worked on healing himself for what we went through, worked on just healing himself for what he took himself through, and started looking within. Then I just started working on looking within myself, and we stopped being so codependent on each other. That was another thing. We were so codependent on each other, and how our moods reflected, and how we, adapted to what was going on, and how we looked at everybody else and what they were doing in their relationship. And we just cut all that out and just said, no, we're going to cut everything and everybody out. We're going to focus on this. We're going to rebuild, and let's see how that works. And here it is.
It works.
It works.
It's not the easiest path. The easiest path is to ignore everything and complain, which is what most couples are doing, right? Most people, you can, take the equation of a couple out, right? Just a random person. They're not looking at where the source of all the issues are, and that's within themselves, right? Like no matter what scenario you throw at me, I can look at your daily habits. I can look at just your internal self and say, well, this is why. Yep. It's a hard reality, but it's truth.
That's why I stand and tell you, I definitely appreciate the knowledge that you definitely unload on here. I gotta figure a way to make it where y'all get y'all one session here every month. Once a month, y'all gotta be up here on the Evening Rush Network, man, and drop some sessions, man. Definitely, man, because
we appreciate it.
Y'all make it easy. Definitely promote love, man.
Yeah,
we definitely promote love, man. Before we get out of here, man, y'all know I gotta drop it. It's the world premiere, man, and
Are you finna get emotional?
I want to say, first of all, shout out to everybody that's been, supporting the Evening Rush Network, Evening Rush Show, the Equasia. If everybody, I don't know if everybody's on Spotify. The Spotify wrap up dropped. Evening Rush Network did very well. I just definitely want to thank everybody that's been tuning in and supporting. Equasia did amazing. So I definitely want to say I appreciate everybody that showed that support and love. But I gotta drop this new video. It's called Love Hangover. And I think it's fitting our topic and everything going on because Love Hangover, it states everything about love and her feelings of not letting go of love. So here we go, world premiere, Love Hangover by my artist, Equasia. You already know, here it is.
Never lie, but if you must lie, lie in the arms of the one you love. I've got a love hangover, so if this is real, don't put me over. I want to feel all your love. I want to feel all your love. So let me hold. I want to hold on to you, babe. Just let me hold on to you, babe. Why must I think that I don't deserve the love that I do? And why must I be surprised that love comes from you? Yeah, one of a kind. So glad that you're mine. They say that love is hard to find. It's good as gold, so don't ever fall. And baby, just let me hold on to you, babe. Just let me hold on to you, babe. I've got a love hangover. So if this is real, please don't put me over. I've got a love hangover. So if this is real, please don't pull me over. I want to hold on to you, babe. Just let me hold on to you, babe. I want to hold on to you, babe. Just let me hold on to you, babe. I've got a love hangover. So if this is real, don't pull me over.
Yes.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I think that's
We're
my
back.
favorite thus far.
Premiere. The premiere. Love
Yeah, that
Hangover by
I really
Equasia.
like that.
Yeah, that was
Evening
really
Rush
good.
Entertainment artist. Thank you. And yes, I'm sorry, guys. I do get a kind of emotional. That's like my other daughter right there. You know what I mean? I'm so proud of her, man. Like every movement she makes, I see a lot of growth. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, shout out to Equasia. My unfavorite part of the show. How do y'all want to go out? So let's start with Chad, as always. the big bro. How you want to
Yeah.
go out, Chad?
Hey man, I just want to say I'm thankful for being here with you guys tonight. It was a great conversation. Y'all are great hosts. The song was amazing, and I'm always thankful for my ride or die beside me. She has been my rock when I was, nothing. So all I want to say to everybody that's still listening is stay. If you're in a relationship, do the work within yourself. Stay focused on the goal, put the work in, and you'll be all right. It'll all work out. Just give it time.
Oh, my turn.
And now, how you want to go out?
I would say, one, thank you so much for having us on here. We appreciate it. Second, you've always been something. Don't say that. Okay. You, even without me, okay. You were always somebody really special. So know that. All right. And three, excuse me. I love the song. I will definitely go to Spotify. I will be supporting. I got you. I love that. Proud of her. And fourth, when it comes to relationships, it's not easy. I'm not going to sit here and say that relationships are easy, whether you just dating, whether you're married, whether you're divorced, wanting to get married again. But it takes time. It takes patience. Okay. Find yourself, love yourself, like yourself. Do those three things first. Okay. Find yourself, love yourself, and like yourself. When you do those three things, everything else will fall in play. I promise you. Okay. The universe knows exactly what you need. The cool thing that I'm learning is that you knew and you know more about yourself than what you believe in. You just have to take what you were taught from others out. Okay. Believe in yourself, trust yourself, look within, and then know that whatever decision you make, the universe got you and will walk you through it in everything. So remember that.
Yeah, I'm about to put that up as a trend. I ain't gonna hold you. That right there was phenomenal.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's definitely going on my trend tonight. You just hit like 1,000 bells in my head. I ain't gonna hold you. TK, how you want to go out?
I thank y'all for coming on tonight. Y'all have hit a whole lot of spots all up in here. I was like, oh, I can relate, and the advice is always good because like you said, you can't always go to family and friends because it be some haters amongst the crew.
Amen.
So you can't, yes, you can't go to everybody. You definitely have to go to somebody that you trust. Again, I love the way you look at him. I do.
Oh,
I love it.
thank you.
So,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
encourage each other too, and just he steals them little glances at you too. So I love that. That love is definitely there. I am glad to be part of this amazing team and be with my family. There's been family since day one. And I'm also thankful for everybody that tuned in and watched tonight. If y'all have not and are not following them, please follow my Bulletproof Marriages because it's awesome and it's knowledge. As they said, dating is not easy and marriage ain't easy either. Whew. I'm trying to get there, Lord, I am, but I might be bald headed before I get there. So, but y'all definitely be safe. Have a great rest of this week, and we will see y'all next week.
Yes.
All right. Feeling it all in here right now. There's love going on there. Definitely feeling it. I want to go out first and foremost by saying, thank you to everybody that tuned in, man. I definitely appreciate y'all each and every week for the love and the support. My Bulletproof Marriages, y'all stay on because we're gonna chop it up behind the scenes because we gonna work something out tonight. I'm gonna have to pull executive decisions out here and stuff, we're gonna work something out tonight. TK gonna tell you I'm bullying y'all into something. I know it already. Shout out to you, TK. Once again, I definitely appreciate you. Always. Like I said, family from day one. It was always a phone call, and now you officially family. You are up in here with us. You know what I mean? So shout out to you. Shout out to my girl Rainbow. Yo, definitely appreciate y'all too. Without y'all, I wouldn't have the amazing platform that I do. Um, and most of all, I just want to say, yo, shout out to Naquasia. I'm sorry. Love Hangover. Make sure y'all go. It will be officially out Friday on YouTube, so y'all can all check in. I want to see them numbers dial up again. Y'all did amazing. 12,000 views in a month. So I mean streams in a month. So let's get those views up looking the same. Definitely appreciate it. And I just want to say, yo, listen, relationships are very, 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 very hard. Don't give up. Don't just walk away. You know, try to fight to the end, fight to the very end. And when it gets difficult, fight a little more. You know. And the most I can say is, listen, everybody is not meant for everybody, but there is ways to try to figure it out. And that's what my Bulletproof Marriages is all about, figuring it out. So definitely holler at them. And like I said, I'm going to bully them into working something out with them too. So we're going to work some stuff out tonight. You know what I mean? And I definitely want to say thank you, everybody. I will catch y'all next week. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's the Evening Rush. Peace.